Hello and welcome to Aberon's Armorial. Today we're going to continue our previous video on flags. This time we're going to be talking about ensign banners, badge banners, Gonfannons or Gonfannons, and Pinsels. These are all various other forms of heraldic flags, and each one has a little bit of quirk to it, so that's kind of why it's a separate video entirely. The first two I want to talk about are just continuations of the personal banner that I touched on in the previous video. For a refresher, the personal banner is just a square or rectangular banner of the arms. So instead of it being in a shield shape, it is in a rectangle or a square. For example, mine is up here in the corner. Mine is a 28 by 34 inch rectangle. Sorry, I thought that was about to fall over. It happened in another video. Now, ensign banners and badge banners are very similar. The regulated sizes are dependent on the country, but they are normally square or rectangular. The ensign banners are usually rectangular. The badge banners are usually the same sizes as personal banners. The ensign banner is a little different because it actually displays the full achievement of arms on the banner. So it is usually a full color square of one of the main colors or a contrasting color. Then it will have a depiction of the full achievement. So helm, crest, mantling, shield, mottos, the whole shebang. All of that will be placed on this ensign banner. And sometimes in the corners or on the points, it will have badges. So heraldic badges will be displayed on these. And then, like many other flags, sometimes they may or may not have some sort of livery fringe around the outside. The ensign banner is kind of interesting. You see it as kind of a modern, I don't know how to describe it. I've seen it done at funeral processions with a black banner with the arms on it. I've seen it just done with contrasting colors. The best example of one that I can see in modern use is the Lanark Highlanders, if anybody's familiar with them, as they actually march with a center ensign banner, which has the arms of their society. It's either the society or the chief, and then they carry two guidons that are plain that say Lanark down the length of them. So yeah, that's the ensign banner. Ensign, ensign banner, depending on how you would want to pronounce it. The next is the badge banner. Badge banners are kind of cool. I really like them. They're, I think, an underrated form of heraldic flag that you don't see often. And when you do see it, it's often done by like medievalists, SCA, that sort of thing. It's more of a fantasy thing nowadays, which is surprising, but it has a very true historic precedent, and they are still granted and devised by the College of Arms, less so Lord Lyon, but mostly the College of Arms today, and they're often unregulated. So they have a little bit of uniqueness to them. And what they usually are is they are either a solid color or a divided field of the liveries. I designed a couple of them for mine, just messing around before. And so mine were blue and gold divided vertically with a badge on the center, which was an oak leaf with a crown around it. So they're kind of cool and they're open to variation. I have seen depictions where it's just a central badge on divided liveries. I've seen it with a central badge on divided liveries with more badges in the corners or things like that, or they're spread out across the field, and they can look really cool. I think they're definitely unique, and they're a little more unique than the arms as a regular personal banner. And I think for a procession or a games, or if you're flying it at your house, a badge banner looks really cool. Again, personal taste, it's up to anyone. But I really like the look of badge banners, something that I'm going to be making very soon when I can. For those of you who don't know, I actually make heraldic flags, so I made this flag behind me. So, badge banners. It's a simple divided flag with multiple badges or one badge on them. Kind of not seen as much nowadays, but definitely an older thing that has kind of become adopted by the fantasy community and is starting to come back into heraldic circles, especially in younger generations, and I think it looks really cool. The next flag I want to talk about is the Gonfannon. Some people pronounce it Gonfannon or Gonfannon. There's many different ways. And you may not be familiar with it, especially if you're a student of heraldry in the British Isles, because it just really wasn't that common. It was definitely a European thing. Especially in Italy and Spain and parts of the Holy Roman Empire. I believe in Italy there was actually a military unit called the Gonfannons that was allied to the Papal States at one point. You could see where it gets its name. So it is pretty typical of more of a medieval looking banner. If you think of a medieval banner, you're probably going to think of this. It's a pole with a crossbar, and on the crossbar hangs a long flag. And it is oriented vertically. Sometimes they have tails at the bottom. There is one in the cover photo of this. It actually is for St. Edward's, and it's got 3 crowns on it. Or St. Edmunds, sorry. 3 crowns on it. And those are kind of different. You don't see them as much in heraldic processions and stuff. The big place you do see them, however, is in ecclesiastical heraldry and in church banners. A lot of guilds and livery companies also use them as well. Robert Gare, if you have ever read his Heraldic Standards book here, which if you want to know about heraldic flags, this is one of the greatest books on the subject. He kind of goes on a little bit of a rant about it because he's like, well, they can never make them good. They have beautiful embroidery and stuff, but they're never proper because somebody had to embroider a saint or embroider words or something on it. And I think they look nice. They serve their purpose, especially in church processions and things like that. They look really nice, and for guilds as well. The last flag that I want to talk about is the Pinsel. The Pinsel is pretty much unique to Scots heraldry. It is a form of pennon that is used by individuals who have been chosen to lead, or they have been delegated by the chief to act in the chief's stead for some reason. It is normally 2 foot tall, tapers down to about 4 foot, 4.5 feet in length. It is a solid color, usually one of the chief's liveries. I've also seen them where they're just done in white as well. But it's a solid color with the plant badge or some sort of other badge with the motto usually on the end. But near the hoist, there will be centered on the hoist, there is a circular image that shows the standard clansman's badge. For those of you who don't know, the clansman's badge in Scots heraldry is the crest off of the chief's arms, and it's surrounded by a strap and buckle. And yes, in Scots heraldry, we call them a strap and buckle to differentiate it from a garter, from the Order of the Garter, for example. It will bear the motto of the chief's arms as well, and when it's painted or embroidered on this flag, it should have a gold buckle for anyone who's a full chief. Any chieftain or other armiger that would have a Pinsel for some reason should have a silver buckle on that crest badge. Then around that badge, there is usually it's a gold or a silver ring that will say the title or the person's name. For example, my chief has a Pinsel. It's red, it has the clansman's badge, and it has a gold ring around it, and it says MacDonald of MacDonald, because that's his title. He's the 8th Baron MacDonald. So that's the Pinsel. The Pinsel is, again, something very unique. If you see it at a Highland Games, it's going to be very rare. I can think of only a few clans that actually usually use them here in the U.S. A lot of times the commissioners and high commissioners of clan societies will use them, as it's inappropriate for them to display the chief's banner of arms, so they will use that instead. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and share these videos with your friends. If there's anything you would like to see become a video or become a topic or just a question you have, feel free to comment or email me. Thank you. Have a great day.